How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and we're going to be talking about the top 3 SPACs that you should have on your watch list. These SPACs actually look really good, and considering that the market is extremely volatile and a lot of stocks are on sale, is why I want you guys to actually see this. And if you're considering it, you could definitely let me know as well. Also want to put in the disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor and this isn't financial advice. So just make sure when you do invest, you're doing it at your own risk. What I like about these 3 SPAC stocks, it's diverse. They're not all in the same industry, but I won't waste any more time. We're going to be going over an article that's actually covering the 2 out of the 3. We're also going to be doing a technical analysis and so forth, so you can get in at the right price and not overpay. But hey, a lot of things are on sale right now anyways. And then I'm going to be giving you guys my final thoughts afterwards. All right, so we're going to be going over this article that actually covers the 2 SPACs out of the 3 SPACs that I'm going to be sharing with you guys. And I want you guys to actually get a look at this article so you can see what these particular SPACs are about and the companies that are going to be bringing public and why I feel it's something that you should at least keep on your watch list, all right? So the 2 SPAC stocks to buy right now that should make you a fortune. So we're going to jump into the second paragraph here. There are quite a few SPACs that'd be best to avoid like the plague. However, there are also some worth checking out. Here are 2 SPAC stocks to buy right now that should make you a fortune over the long term. So number 1, we have Social Capital Hito Holdings V. Billionaire Chamath actually could soon run out of letters for his SPACs. He recently filed with the U.S. Securities Exchange Commission to form 7 new SPACs with the ticker symbols IPOG through IPOM. Keep your eyes of Chamath's next moves, but in the meantime, consider investing in Social Capital. IPOE is moving forward with plans to merge with fintech up-and-comer SoFi. The deal values SoFi at $8.65 billion. SoFi offers a one-stop shop for a wide range of financial services on its smartphone app. Users can apply for loans, refinance loans, buy insurance, invest in stocks and cryptocurrency, and transfer money to others and more. Membership on SoFi's flagship app has accelerated for 6 consecutive quarters. The company expects 75% growth this year, with its total members topping 3 million by the end of 2021. SoFi also owns Galileo and runs the businesses as an independent operation. Galileo provides technology infrastructure services to financial services providers. Its platform currently has around 50 million accounts. SoFi's goal is to turn Galileo into the Amazon Web Services of fintech. The company generated net revenue last year of around $620 million. It anticipates revenue will grow almost 6-fold by 2025 to nearly $3.7 billion. SoFi also expects to deliver positive adjusted earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization, which is EBITDA, this year with strong growth in subsequent years. There's one key thing to watch with SoFi that could turbocharge its growth. The company received preliminary conditional approval in October for a national bank charter. If SoFi wins approval to operate a bank, it could add close to $1 billion in additional adjusted EBITDA through 2025. This is part of the reasons why I wanted to bring this to your attention, especially if you're interested in SPACs. You guys already know how I play these SPACs. So again, you could use that strategy, and you could use actually looking into these companies like SoFi to actually help you. So let's get into the second one. So the second one is Gores Holding. That's a SPAC name. So Alec Gores is another billionaire investor who's been quite active in forming SPACs. At last count, Gores Holdings filed for 8 SPACs. The one I'm most intrigued by right now is Gores Holding. Earlier this month, GHVI announced plans to merge with spatial data company Matterport. The transaction pegs an enterprise value for Matterport at $2.3 billion. GHVI and Matterport expect the merger will close in the second quarter of 2021. What in the world is a spatial data company? Matterport built technology that can build a digital 3D model from a physical space. This means homes, offices, stores, museums, you name it. So far, the company has digitized more than 10 billion square feet of space and counting. That's the biggest spatial data library on the planet. Matterport single-handedly created the spatial data market in 2011 and remains a clear market leader. This is another thing we love looking at when it comes to investments. It currently has over 250,000 customers in more than 150 countries. The company's customer base includes over 13% of the Fortune 1000. Lots of software as service companies deliver impressive growth, but Matterport's track record of 18x subscriber growth over the last 2 years is especially impressive. The company's subscriber count skyrocketed more than 500% in 2020 alone. Matterport generated revenue of $85.9 million last year and an 87% year-over-year jump. The company estimates its total addressable market is around $240 billion. That number is calculated by multiplying 20 billion building spaces by $1 per month. I don't think Matterport will come anywhere close to capturing this full market. However, even if it only snags 1% of that market share, that's $2.4 billion in annual revenue. Okay, so here's how the author sums it up. Skin in the game. By the way, I'm putting my money where my mouth is with these SPAC stocks. I bought an opening stake in GHVI earlier this month, and I also plan on investing in IPOE in the near future. My view is that these stocks really should make you a fortune, counting on them to make me a fortune too as well. And this is coming from Keith Spates from the Motley Fool. This was actually made on February the 22nd. I figure with everything going down in the market right now, there's so many stocks that you can get a deal on, and these are the two that I feel like you really should consider if you're interested in SPACs as well. All right, so we're going to do a quick technical analysis on GHVI. So this is pretty much the SPAC that's going to be bringing Matterport public. So as you can see here, this is with most SPACs, it usually starts off in the $10 range. $10 seems to be the floor. So you can see it wasn't too long ago on February the 5th, before anything was even announced, this was the range where it's trading at. We could see here it ended up getting to a high of $28 on February the 22nd, until market conditions started being unfavorable and we started going through this correction that we have going down now to the current price that you're seeing right here at $13.46 at 2:39 p.m. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to switch it over to the 5-day 5-minute because I wanted you guys to see what the chart overall, what it looks like, where it's been and so forth. So as you can see here on the 5-day 5-minute, we ended up having a high that you can see around here just under $20 at $19.45 on March the 1st. So taking this into consideration, this is pretty much a really tough resistance level because we haven't been able to pass this area for the entire week. It's just been going on a downward trend. But again, that is the market. That's how things have been going. We have a lot of selling going on and we have a correction going on as well. So one thing I'm going to tell you right now, you really can't go wrong at all in regards to an entry. But what you can do if you really want to make sure you're getting value is taking advantage of a lot of the dips that we've been getting in the morning. So even if we look at yesterday, it ended up getting down to this area of $12.52. But we could see here, there had some support there here at $12.64, right? As we see that it was tested over here at 2 o'clock, made a moving back up, and it hasn't visited this area until pre-market. Sorry, that was yesterday after hours. So we could see that it actually ended up holding down this one particular area of the $12.62 going all the way into the open of today. So let me just expand out the chart so you guys can see this a little bit more clearly. So you can see here we have a run up going to $14.30, right? This is going on in the pre-market right around 9 o'clock, right? So 9:20 a.m. to be exact, and then ended up having a strong sell-off. The thing is, the NASDAQ took a real big hit, and this happened with many stocks that ended up selling off at this period in time. It was literally between the time of like 10:30, it's panning out all the way until, as you see, around 11 and so forth. But when it tested this support area at 11:38, it bounced back up very, very well. So we can honestly see that, hey, this 1140 area is a potential area to look for if the market, like I said, ends up having a downtime in that certain part of the day. As you can see here, the market has really picked itself up, and in case GHVI has done the same. Because we can see here, even though it hit this low at 1139 down here, it made a strong move to the upside to get back to $14.18. Very, very impressive. And this was literally around 1:20 p.m. So if you want to take a look here, one thing that I love seeing on these charts are seeing the support levels go up. So we see here at 1139, we look up here, 1160, support level 1191, picking back up again here, 1250, up here to 1276, up here to 1306, and then it looks like we have some solid support here, as you can see, from around 115 going all the way here to 205. Very, very strong support. But we ended up having this break here, but you know what? It's still pretty good because it's still sitting on top of that 21-day EMA. And that's a good sign. We're seeing that it's on a good uptrend. It hasn't really broken it as yet. You can see it's kind of tested it, but it's kind of recovered very quickly. So as far as next week is concerned, I would definitely start looking out for these support areas. So we have 1328, and we also have 1276. And then at the lows of lows, we had the 1191. And if you end up catching this, see if you can get it at around 1145. So this is a great way to actually look at building out a position if you are interested in Matterport. I see the upside. I'm very interested, and that's what I'm going to be looking for come Monday as well. But considering how the volatility has been, you never know what you're going to get. But at the same time, please don't be surprised. Make sure you take advantage of these dips, because you've already seen the previous history. When it starts running back up and it starts getting more attention, and like I said, the market overall in general gets better, then we could definitely see this get back into that $20 range. Hey, it was at $14.30 here, and if you caught it at 11, that's still pretty good. But as far as going forward long term, there's tremendous upside. So Matterport, I definitely will see it being like at least a $30 to $40 stock this year. That's how bullish I am. So we're going to be doing a quick technical analysis on IPOE. So as we can see here, I'm going to spread out the chart like I did for GHVI and show you guys what it looks like. So just like any other SPAC, it usually starts off in the $10 area. And then when the news is announced that, you know what, that IPOE was going to bring SoFi public, you can see we ended up having a strong run up here all the way to $28. So again, this is another one with tremendous upside, and a lot of people are taking notice, right? The fact that it moved up that high. But let's take a look at the 5-day, 5-minute, because we know there have been some recent changes in the market in regards to, like, you know what? A lot of stocks are getting beaten down. So one of the things we can see here on March 1st, we had a high here of $19.85. And currently right now, we're at $16.73. But here's what we take a look at. On the Thursday, we could see there was a strong support level here during regular trading hours at around 155, and the price was $14.78. Lo and behold, what ends up happening, it gaps down the next day, but it holds down that support level. Look, see that? Right there we could see in the pre-market, it was tested and it bounced back up. Started moving upwards going into market open, and we can see that we got up to a high here of $16.41. And like you saw with the other chart with GHVI, a lot of stocks had that morning dip. And on that morning dip, it got down to $13.14, which would have been a perfect buy opportunity. Because if we take a look even here at the RSI, it's literally like around 17. But now take a look at this. Because a lot of traders took notice to this, a lot of people probably building out long-term positions and so forth, when they saw it come down to 13, 14, ended up having a strong move here to $17.20. So this is literally at 140. What a move. That is such a strong move. You can see there was a lot of buying pressure. So one of the things that I love seeing, look how we're doing such a great job staying above that 21-day EMA. Like, see, take a look at this. Definitely doing a great job riding on that uptrend, as we can see here. And as far as support levels, there wasn't much consolidation. Once it got to this area, it made that strong move to the upside. So that just kind of tells you, you really can't go wrong if you're getting it in the $13 to $14 area, to be honest. So as we can see here, I'm really hoping that this continues going into the market close. Right now, it's only 2:49, so we have about just an hour and 10 minutes left. But one thing that I am noticing here, we can honestly say that, you know, this 1645 area is being supported. We also want to take a look at this area here that you could really notice that is on the pretty much around $15.45. It's another area to pay attention to in regards to support. You can see literally that's also where it intersects with the pretty much the simple moving average on the 200 day. So I would definitely keep an eye on this. But so far, it seems to be doing a good job staying above the EMA 21. I would definitely look forward for it to continue this bullish uptrend. And if the pattern does end up breaking, just make sure like you keep an eye on it and you get those price targets that we mentioned earlier, whether it's 13 to 14s. If it ends up gapping up, I could definitely do see a gap up happening. We could see right here the next gap up area would be around 1750. If it passes 1750, we're definitely going to be seeing a strong move going into the 18s and so forth, and then revisiting the 19s. So again, considering all the volatility that's going on in the market right now, be very careful with this. Understand the volatility, but you still can't go wrong with the current price that it is. There's still more room for a run up to happen. I would say make sure you build out your positions wisely. If you have $1,000, I always use this example, and you want to spend $250, do it on separate days, do it at separate times. You could do it in 1 week, however you like to do it, to make sure that you're dollar cost averaging and you're getting a good price and so forth. Don't just put one lump sum all the way in and knowing that you could have taken advantage of any dips if they have occurred. All right, so you guys have seen me bring this up already. This is FRX, Forest Road Acquisition Corp. So we're going to be taking a look at it. I've already done a very, very in-depth analysis on this company. I will be linking the card in the video as well. But if we take a look at the 5-day, 5-minute, this was a stock on March the 1st where it was trading as high as $13.42. And as you can see now, it's trading at around $11.15. If we look at what was going on yesterday, ended up hitting a high here of $12.13, as you can see, but it didn't spend too much time up there. So we definitely had a clear resistance level area of $11.81. We also could see that there's also some strong support in this particular area around $11 as well. And we also had a dip that was happening yesterday where it got down to $10.52. So now if we take a look what was going on in the after hours yesterday, it stayed fairly consistent holding down that $11 range. We could see here in the pre-market here around $4.55, ended up having a gap down here to $10.79. But if we kind of extend out the chart very quickly here, it knows this area. So definitely a rebalance. We definitely knew that was actually possible to see because as you can see, when it did touch this area, it rebounded itself very quickly. And even as we look forward, as today, we're seeing that it also has some support here going on for the day, even when we see it here in the morning for a little bit and also going in, as you can see, in the afternoons. So let's focus on this one day that we're in right now. We end up seeing a low of $10.13. This is definitely a buy opportunity. And the reason why I say it again is because this is a SPAC. And many SPACs, hey, they stay at that $10 area. If they do fall below 10, they recover very quickly. So if you were able to build out a position here, that is a very, very good look. You can even take a look at the RSI. It's well below 30 here. So you know that is a great way to actually add. You also had some time here to add around the $10.30 area, literally from 11.05 going all the way over here to 12.15. So the opportunities were fruitful there. We could also see there was a big move all the way to $11.50 at 125. This is increased buying pressure. Like I said, it's very, very volatile right now in the current market conditions. So we don't know what could happen, especially when it comes to Monday as well. Definitely want to start seeing some green, want to see some recovery. But even in these areas, this is not too bad. Like I said, if we bring it all the way back out, even on the 1 month here, we can see that it definitely had a high up here to $18.20 on February the 22nd. So there's still more room for this stock to go. So that's what I wanted to really update you guys on. Like I said, I didn't go too in depth because I covered this not too long ago, and I went very, very extensively into the details talking about the company and so forth. So as far as prices are concerned, you really can't go wrong. Everything is on sale, just like the other SPACs that I covered. But if you want to make sure you're really maximizing things, look out for that $10 area. If it ends up revisiting the $10 area, it is not a bad place to add. Also looking at the $10.50 and also the $11 area is not too bad either. And like I said, just don't go in with one lump sum. You want to make sure you spread out your position evenly. So for my final thoughts, these three SPACs that want to bring Matterport public, the Beachbody company public, and also as well as SoFi, honestly, I'm going to make sure I dip my hands in each of these SPACs, all right? I've been talking about the Beachbody company one for quite some time before any of these other two that were just recently announced, but I do see a tremendous amount of upside in all three of these companies. The fact that they have a good backing, they also shown that, you know what, they have good revenue. There's demand behind it. They're growing very, very well from what we see and so forth. Again, they just have tremendous upside. Please take a look at these stocks. Like I said, I'm not a financial advisor. This isn't financial advice. So when you do invest, you're doing it at your own risk. But decision is tough. I can't really just choose one over the other. Like I said, they're all in diverse areas. So you really cannot go wrong, even if you decide to take all three. But just know the risks that are involved as well. Like I said, this is a SPAC. So you do have that downside risk of it going down to $10 just in case the merger doesn't go through and so forth. They've already gone public saying, hey, these are the companies that we're going to be bringing to the forefront and so if it doesn't end up working out, that is the downside. Just understand that. But all things considered and what the prices are right now, it really isn't too bad. And if you guys want to get an idea of what my strategy is when I do get into SPACs, I also love to get into the warrants to even collect some more profit, which is more short term as well. But you can check out my previous video on SPACs to get more info on that. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you guys soon.